The Trail, Chapter 4. Last summer, Lucas and I made the list. It was the weekend after school had let out, and the two of us were in the middle of our Saturday morning ritual of gobbling down breakfast in my kitchen. Gran had left a thick stack of pancakes for us to eat before heading into town to run errands. "You know," said Lucas, stuffing an entire pancake in his mouth. "Wishel the rotor Smiths." "Huh?" I asked, slathering butter on 5 pancakes before pouring syrup over them. Lucas took a big gulp of juice. "We should write down some things. A list of all the totally awesome things we want to do this summer." I sliced into my stack and forked a huge chunk of pancake into my mouth. "How about we eat 20 pancakes in one sitting at the top," I mumbled. "We basically do that every Saturday," Lucas said, waving away my idea. He got a pen and a piece of paper from a kitchen drawer. "We should do something new. What about fishing?" "Sure." I liked how the list was starting out already. Fishing was easy and safe. By the end of the breakfast, we had written down the following. Number 1, go fishing. Number 2, eat a worm. Number 3, spend a whole day at the movie theater. Number 4, build a treehouse. Number 5, go blueberry picking. Number 6, make a raft and float it. Number 7, explore the abandoned house on Chimney Hill. Number 8, learn how to pop wheelies on our bikes. I mopped my last bite of pancake over my syrup-sticky plate and got up to clear the table. I was nearly at the sink when Lucas asked the question, "Why don't we put jump off the rope swing at the quarry on the list?" The plate slipped from my fingers and shattered on the floor. I hated that note of excitement in Lucas's voice. It always came out when he wanted to do something risky. He was the brave one, chasing adventure wherever it went. I would follow him, but half the time I would mess up somehow, forget to bring something or do something, then depend on Lucas to figure out how to save us from my dumb mistakes. Ever since the car accident, I hadn't been able to shake the feeling that bad luck followed me wherever I went. I was the cursed kid whose own parents didn't even want him. I don't know. I pictured the rope swing, dangling at least 20 feet above the water. Every summer we watched the older kids doing it, shrieking as they leaped. I never thought about doing it myself. "We're starting middle school this fall. Don't be so chicken. It'll be fun." Suddenly, the desire to be as brave as Lucas surged past my fear. "All right," I said. Lucas wrote it down as I swept the pieces of my broken plate into a dustpan and into the trash. Number 9, jump off the rope swing at the quarry. "We need one more thing to make it an even 10. Let's make it something big, Toe." Toe was the nickname Lucas had given me last summer when a Godzilla of a bee had buried its stinger into my big toe. It's 1 syllable short of my real name, Toby. Lucas only used toe when he was talking about something really important. I put the dustpan away and crossed the kitchen to Lucas, leaning over his shoulder to look at the list. An idea popped into my head. "You know how we like to hike?" Lucas nodded, the pen still poised above the paper. "How about we hike the tallest mountain we can get to?" A slow grin filled Lucas's face. "I have a better idea. Why don't we hike the whole Appalachian Trail?" My hands fell into the back of Lucas's chair. I was glad I wasn't holding anything that could break. "The entire thing? Isn't it 2,000 miles long or something? Let me look it up." Lucas took out his phone and began tapping away. 2,190 miles to be exact, he announced, his face falling. "That's at least 1,000 miles too much for me." He bent over the phone, his thumb swirling rapidly. "Hang on, I've got another idea." He held up his phone and waved it around. "Look at this." I looked at the phone. There were names of places with little mile indicators next to them. I found a website that shows the distances between shelters on the trail. "You know that one that's just a mile from your backyard?" I nodded. Velvet Rock Shelter was an easy walk from my yard. Gran and I sometimes had picnics there. "Well, it's 440 miles from Velvet Rock Shelter to Mount Katahdin at the end of the trail in Maine. If we hike 10 miles a day, we could finish the whole trail in a month and a half easy. We could do it before school starts." Lucas was nodding to himself, excited. "I'll ask my dad if he can come with us. He's been talking about doing A long hiking trip for a while. He picked up the pen and added, hike the Appalachian Trail from Velvet Rocks to Katahdin. And that was the list.